Congratulations, everybody. You made it. We made it. It's the end of the first official day of CES, and we saw a lot of really cool stuff today, so let's get right to it. I'm going to give you the highlights from the day. So first up, we have a human transport drone. So it's just like those little quadcopters you got, only this one has 4 arms and 8 propellers instead of 4, and it can carry a human being in a tiny little capsule atop those propellers that weighs up to 260 pounds through a 10-mile or 23-minute flight radius. And after you've set kind of where you want to go using the app that's built for the thing, all you can do as the human passenger is press a button to take off, pause in flight, and land. So as long as you're comfortable with letting the drone take you where you want to go, well, that could be the future of human transport technology. Next up, we had the Chevy Bolt, which is the first all-electric EV from Chevrolet. It borrows a lot of features from the Volt itself, but the key difference is this one is purely electric. That means there's no internal combustion motor that charges the batteries. This one's purely a plug-in. It's got a 10-inch touchscreen in it, and other than that, it's going to cost you around $30,000 after a $7,500 federal tax rebate. The other thing that we saw is a rollable display from LG. It's an OLED screen that you can roll up, which is insane. I don't know what you need it for, but it looks really cool. Next, we had Intel debut an adrenaline dress design concept. And what it is a series of lattice work that you attach to your back, and it reacts to your adrenaline. So as your adrenaline rises, there are some special alloys in this lattice work that make it expand into some kind of nightmare wings behind you. It's really incredible to look at. Again, not really sure what it's for, but it looks really cool. And lastly, we have the Hy-Vee Icarus VR flying rig. So basically, it's this piece of workout equipment that has been heavily modified to allow you to experience the sensations of flight in a comfortable way. Basically, it allows you to plank while you've got a VR headset on and lets you feel like you're flying. So those are the highlights from today, and I will see you tomorrow for more. Good morning, Las Vegas. Welcome back to the Engadget stage. My name is Michael Gorman. I am the editor-in-chief of Engadget. And joining me on stage, I have Dana Woolman, managing editor. How are you, Dana?
Good morning. I'm doing okay.
Yeah. And executive editor Christopher Trout.
YOLO.
Always. And then we also, last but certainly not least, Terrence O'Brien.
You're so sweet.
Editor. Yeah.
You're the sweetest.
I am.
Thanks.
I also have great hair.
This is true. You definitely have the best hair on staff, I think.
Lies.
So how are we doing? We're almost halfway through the show.
And half of us are sick.
Yeah.
That's
Dana,
why there's a little extra space here.
You started coming down with something, didn't you?
I'm a little sick,
Yeah.
and I almost threw my Apple Watch to the ground yesterday
Why?
because I was in a taxi line for more than an hour, and then I feel a tap on my wrist, and it's the Apple Watch telling me that I need to stand up.
Wait, you were standing in line and
For
the watch...
more than an hour.
For an hour.
And Apple Watch has the gall to be like,
Just rubbing salt in the wound there.
yeah.
That would have been a great
I'm wearing it
video.
today, but
It would only be better if it had told you to stand in a taxi line.
Yes.
and then I burst into tears a few minutes later. So like, that's the only gadget that so far has made me cry.
So what you're saying is
Yes.
yesterday was your favorite day at CES. That's
Yes.
what I'm hearing. That's
CES
good.
is officially broken, Dana Wool.
Yes.
She's a shell of her former self. Well, thank you for joining us on stage and toughing it out. Terrence, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm a little sleep deprived, but,
Yeah.
you know, that's the norm.
Somebody call the wambulance.
Wah.
Okay, well, let's get into it. So we saw some of the highlights yesterday. I want to get y'all's thoughts on this. So let's start with the Chevy Bolt. EVs, kind of a big deal, becoming a bigger deal. This one in particular is of note because it's relatively inexpensive. It's $30,000 after like a $7,500 federal tax rebate. It has 200-mile range. It's all electric, plug-in. Well, one of the things that I actually neglected to mention in the video ahead of time, though, is that it actually gets an 80% charge in just an hour.
Which is craziness.
Right?
That is absolute craziness.
Yeah.
Say 80?
80% charge in an hour.
feel like that's better than my iPhone.
Yeah.
That's definitely better than your iPhone.
Yeah.
It's better than any piece of electronics that I own.
Yeah. Which is pretty incredible. So I mean, that's like car news, I guess. That's not our favorite thing, but it's still very notable that we've got another AV. Now, this is one of my favorite things that I know you all feel very strongly about. It's the personal transport drone.
Lame.
Thoughts? And is anyone here willing to
I
get
just
into
don't
a
buy
drone?
it. Let's just say it looks interesting. I think that everybody would love to have their own personal sort of self-driving plane
It's
situation
the
to get to
autonomy
work.
that really makes it nuts, is that you actually have very little control over the drone, that you kind of just have to trust it, put your trust in the technology to get you somewhere safely and not send you crashing to the
Who
ground.
produced this thing? Do we know?
Ehang?
Yeah, never heard of them.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, like, look, I can see it being useful for things like search and rescue operations. You don't want to put additional people in danger.
Sure.
Like you send a drone out into the ocean to rescue people who are, their ship capsized or something. But, I mean, there's the issue of trust, but also we really haven't seen it work either.
No.
And I think, as a personal transport thing, it makes no sense. The search and rescue thing's the only thing that makes sense. But then you're trusting people to basically rescue themselves at the end of the day. You have to get yourself into this helicopter.
Well, and drones in general are still pretty new, right?
Yeah.
Like regulation's still pretty sort of nebulous and kind of out there. And
Yep.
I feel like before I'm gonna sit my ass in one of these things, that stuff better be locked down.
Yes. Like bulletproof.
Yeah.
And what makes me most uncomfortable is like you set where it wants to go. You've got this little app and you set your destination. And once you get inside, you hit a button and then that's it. You can hit a button to take off, pause in flight, and land, and that's all you've got.
Oh, hell
You can't
no.
steer it, and drones are just now figuring out how to avoid stuff in real time, and you're just trusting that it's all going to work.
Yeah, no.
I'm not buying it.
Not at all.
No. I mean, it's cool. It feels like the future, but
But it's the future. It's Jetsonian, and that's the sort of thing we like to see
Yeah.
here.
Let's just stick to murdering people with drones. Right?
long distance murder. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough talk of the drone thing.
Are you sure?
Let's talk about this VR flying rig. I know
Seriously?
Trout loves this thing.
Seriously, though, was yesterday just the most ridiculous day?
There's
think
some
so.
bizarre stuff at CES this year. Yeah.
So the picture that we have, it really is. It's like
It looks like an uncomfortable position a little bit.
It looks like a page out of the Kama Sutra to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like the future Kama Sutra.
Yeah. It's like you're planking with your butt up in the air.
Right.
Yeah.
No longer having sex with another human being, but with some weird metal contraption with goggles on.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens.
It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I know photo selection for this particular story was difficult too, because they were trying to find at least one that wasn't like 4 inches of underwear sticking out of the back of whoever's pants.
And honestly, I think in the animal kingdom they call that presenting.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. I have to say that normally if I am flying and going over a cliff, it means I'm having a terrible dream.
Right.
Now I can do it.
Now it's like
Anytime.
peaceful. Now you're
Yeah.
Superman, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yes. Okay, Dana, I'm going to need your input on this. Another highlight of yesterday was the Intel Compute Stick. And apparently it's more powerful than it was before. So Dana, can you tell us a little bit more about the Compute Stick?
Can you actually tell us what it is? Because I unfortunately am not super
So the compute
aware.
stick kind of is what it sounds like. It's a ready-made computer on a stick. It's about the size of a Roku stick that you normally plug into your TV.
Sure.
And it's not the first that Intel has made, but the first had specs that were more or less in line with, let's say, a netbook. This is a real, much more powerful version. And really, it is tiny for what it is. And you just plug it into a display, and you have, add a keyboard and mouse, and you have a ready-made computer. And until now, we've been saying that Apple's Mac Mini is, let's say, a small desktop. That's no longer a small desktop. This is a small desktop, one that plugs into your monitor. Like
And
that.
it just runs Windows 10?
Yep, it's a Windows computer on a stick.
So you're feeling it?
More so now, yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
it even has won over our colleague Devindra, who reviewed the original and didn't give it a very good review, but even he is now sold on the upgraded model.
So, but why? So this is my question. Why all of a sudden are we sold on it? Like, is it just because it's more powerful?
Yeah, because it's more powerful that you could do more practical things with it.
And how big is it? It's like thumb
Like a
drive
stick of gum
size?
or something?
Yayish big.
Pack of gum.
Okay.
Yeah. Yayish.
So
Yeah.
Somewhere in here.
like, what are you? Who uses this? Who is this aiming at? Like, what are you doing with the compute stick? Like, I get it. I just don't see it like for personal uses. Like everybody's got Roku's and kind of computerized devices already connected.
I mean,
What do you need a full blown?
It seems to me like people like like video producers or designers or people that need to have really big. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Files on their laptops. No.
No.
A lot of computing power behind what they're doing.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is it that powerful that you can do like really serious? Like you're not gonna do 4K video editing on this
But
thing,
I could
right?
see this in classrooms and computer labs. It would save a lot of space.
Okay.
I could see that, but why would you choose this over like a Chromebook or something?
Because Chromebooks are Chromebooks.
I mean they're terrible for the consumer, to be fair, but like those have like
There are
built-in.
options like that too, by the way. Android computers on a stick.
Yeah,
Or
and I mean,
Chrome computers on a stick.
I also think those are kind of crazy.
Yeah, you have
and
no
weird.
shortage of options
Yeah.
and variations.
I mean, is this
there.
basically just a PowerPoint machine? That's kind of what it feels like. Just
Yeah.
plug it into the TV, and you don't have to deal with like hooking up your laptop
That
to it or something.
sounds like the least attractive thing in computing ever. A PowerPoint machine?
I don't know.
Seriously?
I'm
I mean,
trying to
that's
think
what
of
it
who's
sounds like,
using
though.
this stuff.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on. What's the next thing that we've got? Oh yes,
Hated it.
the 9-bot Segway robot scooter dwarf situation.
This thing pisses me off to no end.
I know
It pisses
nothing
me
about
off.
it, so
So last night we were in our trailer discussing this thing with almost the entire staff, and everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, the Segway! It's so cool!" And I'm like, "Wait a second! I swear to God, last year everybody was like, Segways are so lame, man. What are people rolling around CES with Segways? It's so dumb." So you put a robot's face on it and a 3D camera, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden the Segway's like
It's
the best
amazing.
way to get around.
Oh, no one wants it around CES. People are going to kick it if they see it on the show floor, like in the aisles.
But still, like, when did the Segway become cool?
okay. So wait. One question. What is it?
It's
Like,
a Segway with
like-
a robot face and like a
Can you
3D
ride it?
sensing camera on it.
Can you ride it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Intel CEO wrote out on one of these. At
So why
their
does it have a robot
press
face?
Because it's robotic, I guess. It can follow you too.
Yeah. Because
Well, I
once
think
you step
it's-
off of it, it ceases being a transport device and
Well,
becomes a little buddy.
I've wondered about this too. This trend toward really cutesy, childlike robot designs, and I realize the uncanny valley is scary for people, but we are way far from the uncanny valley. You can maybe
Yeah.
make it look a little less childlike.
So it's like an Aibo that you can ride or something? Is that kind of like it's like follows you around like a pet?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
It's Intel though, and I think the thing about Intel, especially at CES, is it's all about showing off like the possibilities,
Yeah.
or kind of like what they can do with their technology. So.
I mean, and sometimes they really knock it out of the park with like weird, crazy stuff that they show off. But sometimes it also just kind of feels like they just go, this.
But sometimes they just slap a tablet on a Segway and make everybody go,
You know,
"Wow!"
I like that
pretty much.
Intel is every year the stone cold weirdo.
Oh no,
of
I do
CES.
too. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I mean, they do. They always do some of the cool stuff.
I
Was the
totally
Nightmare
appreciate it.
Was the Nightmare Spider-Bot? Was that at CES last year? Was that
Yeah,
like
that
an
was last
IDF
year.
or something?
Yeah.
I mean, they were all
There
about
was-
doing some bizarre things.
There was a horde of those things last
Yeah.
year. Thing is, I applaud Intel for being weird,
Yeah.
out there, and all that stuff. I've had it with people being all, "The Segway is super cool."
The Segway will never be cool.
You just have it
Oh.
out for the Segway.
No matter what face you put on it.
I think you need a segue for the San Francisco office.
We do. Well, so here's the thing. I also
We have
want
a
to put this on.
Swagway in the San Francisco
We do.
office.
A
A what?
Swagway. Yeah.
Swagway, you know the hoverboards?
Oh, God.
They're also referred to as Swagways.
That's what I was
Oh,
going to say. I
God.
prefer, at least the one thing I like about Segways is that nobody calls them hoverboards because
That's fair.
the stuff that people are calling hoverboards are not freaking hoverboards. They have wheels that touch the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
It drives me insane.
Well, to be fair, there's no such thing as a hoverboard.
Correct. Well, no, there are.
But for like
Lexus made one.
$20,000.
It just requires like super cool magnets, which isn't really a thing. Anyway, while we're on the topic of Intel, they had another very cool, weird thing.
Very
The
weird.
adrenaline dress.
I love this thing.
So as you know, the adrenaline dress basically is created from 3D printed carbon fiber lattice work, and it's got these metal kind of actuators in the back and sensors that can tell from your body when your adrenaline is going up, heart rate, that kind of thing. And it causes the lattice work to expand, like gradually grow out from behind you. It's a weird thing.
It's like the human version of cackles, right? Like dogs have that like stripe of hair
Oh
on their
yeah,
back.
that's exactly what it is.
When they get pissed or scared or whatever, those things flare up. I think that's great. I mean, I would love to wear one of those things in the office, and when nobody needs to be talking to me, at least they know.
Yeah. And it's basically like a design thing to kind of show what you can do with this metal that allows your clothes to move and respond to body heat, which is cool. Like, I think we're going to see a lot more of that. We've already seen like some wearable stuff where it has like vents on the back of the shirt that open up under this similar kind of principle. So I'll be curious to see what Intel, if they can ever turn this technology into any other sort of useful wearable and not just kind of artistic.
For now, it's a pretty cool science project, if nothing else.
Which I'm always into cool science projects.
Yeah.
So, question, being the one woman on the stage, would you wear said adrenaline dress?
Yeah.
I mean, I would, and I don't think it's made for me.
Wear it where? To the office?
Or maybe that's a little bit more like Night at the Opera or
That's
something.
very Met Ball, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. It would look good.
Huh.
It would be cool with Dana with her nightmare wings walking around.
Review coming soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes. The next thing I want to talk about is the rollable screen from LG.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Thoughts?
Cool.
Sure, I can carry around a TV in my backpack. Seems fun. Why not?
Yeah. Dana?
It's cool. Have we not? I mean, this is me sounding so jaded.
Yeah.
Have we seen something like this before?
I mean, we've seen
Not-
little ones, not this big.
Yeah, not that
Okay.
big.
We've seen roll-up displays. I know
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
still pretty cool.
It is. This one's like 20 inches, and they're still, it's obviously not ready for any commercial application because they're being very careful with like, they don't let anyone else touch it. You have like an LG rep is the one that gets to actually roll the thing. So clearly it's still a little fragile, but
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of having rollable displays. Basically your TV one day might be able to, because it's as thin as like cardboard, like poster board really is about
Is
how
it
thick it is.
HD and color and all those things too?
It is. It's HD. It's not 4K, but I'm pretty sure it's like.
If it's
at
not
least-
4K, I'm not interested.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
right?
Just done.
Lame.
4K snob now? Is that where we're at, Terrence?
HD it's the past, man. We gotta move on.
And we're all about the future, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And the future is rollable displays, apparently.
Rollable 12K displays.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Is 12K a thing? It's not a thing,
12K?
right?
No,
Nothing
I
is.
think we're at 8K.
I'm just making stuff up now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's ask Hisense.
That makes me like that.
Was that a diss? I don't even know.
I don't know either. All right, well, okay, so we've got about 1 minute left.
Okay.
We're halfway done. What are your thoughts moving into the last half of the week? Anything y'all are looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the champagne we're gonna drink on the last day of CES.
Yeah. That'll be Saturday, folks, for folks at home.
And I'm also looking forward to the foot rub you're gonna give me tonight.
Lies. Don't believe him. Dana, do you have anything? Just hot tea and sleep, probably, since you're sick?
Hot tea and sleep, getting credit for all the hours I spend standing. That's
Assume
all,
you don't throw the watch off a
that's-
bridge
It's
before
all I
the
really
other day.
want, yeah.
Terrence?
I got nothing, really.
Nothing?
Nothing.
He's not looking forward to anything.
Nope.
Well,
I'm just that jaded.
I am looking forward to getting to spend the next few days with you three lovely people.
Aww.
Shut your mouth.
That's right. It's cheesy. It's good. All right, well, that's all we've got for now. Stay tuned. Of course, we're going to have interviews, game shows, and all sorts of cool stuff happening today on stage. And stay tuned to Engadget.com for everything you need to know from CS 2016. See you guys later. Bye.